So don't stop. It's under the lights when everything goes. Nowhere to hide when I'm getting you close. When you move, well, you already know.
Who's clapping?
Focus on
I can't stop this.
Good morning.
Morning.
Let's try that again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome, Class 26, Southwest Region Induction. We're so happy to have you all here, and we're going to start off, if you'll please remain standing, with the national anthem by our AmeriCorps, which represents all three units.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light
name is Gina Kraus. I'm currently the Acting National Director for AmeriCorps NCCC. I've had the honor and privilege of being in this role for about 4 years now. I come from a background of service in this very program. I was a member of Class 2 in the Pacific region, which at that time was located in San Diego, California, and was fortunate enough to have an experience which shaped my entire life and allows me to be here today with you. I'm very, very honored to be able to play Mistress of Ceremonies and have a bigger role in this event than I normally get to. So thank you for having me with you. And that's a little bit about me, but I want to take some time now to, as we take this moment in, you're about to take an oath. You're about to be sworn in to one of the elite opportunities that our nation has to offer. So AmeriCorps has been around for 25 years. There are 1.1 million alums who've served in the course of that time. Of that 1.1 million, there are only 28,000 people, including myself and a couple of alums I see around the room. Raise your hand, alumni. All right, plenty here. Thank you for the support. Of that 1.1 million, only 28,000 of us have had the opportunity to have the unique opportunity that you're about to embark on today. So I'm very pleased that we're all here to celebrate this moment, the culmination of a very intense, and I'm sure what feels very long, training opportunity. But you will be fueled with the knowledge, new skills, and abilities to work together and get things done for America. So with that, I'd like to acknowledge some of our special guests today. We are very fortunate to have a large group of supporters with us here in the House. First, I'll start with U.S. Congressman Jason Crow, representing Colorado's 6th Congressional District, which is where we are currently located. Thank you for being here. We have staff representatives for both of Colorado's U.S. Senators, Brendan Conskol from Senator Michael Bennett's office, Riley Hayduck from Senator Cory Gardner's office. We also are joined by one of my colleagues at headquarters in Washington, the Director of Government Relations and External Affairs for the Corporation for National and Community Service, Bo Bryant. Thank you for joining us. We have Ken Goodson, who is the former illustrious leader of this campus and now has taken on a new role for the Corporation for National and Community Service, heading up our new regional office for the Mountain Region. So thank you so much for being here, Ken. And he's joined by, I think, all of our colleagues in the new region office, almost all. Most are here today, thank you. We also have with us Paul Brown, the Deputy Director of Serve Colorado, and several of his colleagues. Thank you for your support, our brothers and sisters in executing service on behalf of Colorado, but of course our whole nation. And also, including Brian Wegner, who's an AmeriCorps NCCC alumnus from this region. We're not afraid to brag about where our alums go and the good jobs that they undertake because of that spirit of service that inspires them to continue. Now, one thing that pleases me at every event is seeing our guests, our friends, family, supporters. Stand up if you are here visiting and supporting our colleagues here who are about to be sworn in. Thank you so much. Whether you travel far and wide, whether you represent a larger cause or the individual that's here, thank you all for being here today. We really appreciate it. Champions of service are really important to me, and champions of NCCC service even more important. We are a part of a bigger movement in this country, and we value your support, so thank you. All right, next up, I'm going to introduce Evander Jennings, who's a member of the Earth Unit, and he's coming to give us a member reflection to start off.
Good morning, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Awesome. All right. It's been a while since I've done public speaking, but here we go. All right, so a couple weeks ago, just like you all, I received the verification for my plane ticket, Colorado bound. And it was at that moment that I put down my phone and thought to myself, what are you thinking? Are you seriously about to spend 10 whole months of your life with complete strangers, stuffed into a room with 10 to 12 stinky men? And what if I ended up alone the whole freaking time? The idea was less than appealing, but it was the mission that enticed me. And what's the mission? NCCC's mission is to strengthen communities and develop leaders through direct, team-based national and community service. I, being in a leadership position at my university, figured, hey, this would look good on my resume. I want to be something that's admired, be looked at as a hero. Not some chump who looks like a 15-year-old boy, but a full-fledged man worthy of respect. Not necessarily a bad reason, but not a great one either. Because that makes the service about me. Not that I realized that at the time, and that's not what service is. So I met these strangers. These inspirational beings that caused a shift so profound in me, I think I'm finally starting to grasp on. I have a firm belief that those who come into your life come to teach you an important lesson, and with every action and breath you take together. So I actively try to look for what it is they came to my life to teach me. For example, when we were little more than acquaintances, a person encouraged me to better myself by something seemingly so trivial. Now, let me tell you, I am not a morning person, y'all. And this guy audaciously suggests a 6 a.m. jog. I had mentioned before that I wanted to get stronger while here, so he pushed me to break out of my comfort zone. I get up to the bitter cold, get dressed, and start running. However, I quickly fall behind the group due to an injury. Embarrassed, I told them to leave me behind and expecting as such, and instead they stayed by my side. Most of the people in my life to this point would have belittled me, but instead he said that he was running with me and encouraged me to reach that 2-mile goal. Encouraging me forward with patience and laughing with me the rest of the way. He even taught me a better way to run with my injury. I was absolutely inspired. Now, I know what you're thinking. So what? Big deal, right? But this goes to show that small acts can be transformative. I want to be a leader just like this. Someone who takes the hand rather than strikes it down. Someone who is inclusive. Someone who brings people up rather than leaves them behind. Someone who's patient and kind. And I know that if I can inspire even one person like he inspired me, then I would have made the world a difference. I think the most important lesson that I learned in these 3 weeks is that service is not about me. I learned to reflect upon my core in attempts to find that purest flame of service. And after the summer in which I felt my being had been stripped of that purpose and sense of self, I had a great deal of digging to get back to that passion I had forgotten. Was I here to prove myself, that my existence had meaning, to distract myself from the darker thoughts that crowded my mind while home? To help those who've been in situations like myself. And there it was. We must all ask ourselves, why do I want to help people? And I can now proudly stand up here and say that I've reconnected with that spirit of service. I want to help those who've been hurt and relieve the suffering because I know that in my time of need, through the many hardships of my life, I would have wanted the same. To reach out a hand, not expecting praise as payment, but knowing that you relieve their suffering and that being all the validation you need to push forward. We must all find our purpose in whatever form that may take, and everyone's journey in life is different. I strive to make that purpose of mine to serve others, to help those who are without and take note of the blessings I've been given, my friends, my resilience to continue the next day, the roof over my head, the food in my belly, and I cannot wait to see the adventure that's going to unfold for us all. I'm looking forward not only to traveling to new frontiers, but to see what else I can learn about this puzzle I call Evander. There's a quote I found recently that goes, "Some people come into our lives and leave footprints in our hearts, and we'll never be the same." As we strap up our work boots and head out on spike, I leave you with food for thought. This is a time for a new start, a new chapter in life. You not only have the power to transform all that you touch, but yourself as well. Make it count. What kind of leader do you want to be? How have the people who come into your lives transformed you? And push you to become the most fulfilled versions of yourself? Transformation can be frightening, even painful at times, but that near indescribable, beautiful wholeness that encompasses true unadulterated freedom, self-love, and passion, nothing can compare. Thank you, and be safe on your travels.
After only being here for 3.5 weeks, what an amazing, insightful reflection to inspire us. So I'm sorry about the folks that have to come behind Evander. It's a follow right there. But somebody has to do it, so I have the pleasure of introducing Bo Bryant, who is our Director of Government Relations and External Affairs. He previously served as the head of the McDonald's Corporation Federal Government Relations Office, where he managed advocacy and the policy priorities of the McDonald's brand and thousands of franchisee restaurant partners. Prior to McDonald's, Bo Bryant worked on Capitol Hill as Chief of Staff for Congressman Matt Collins of Georgia. He previously served in the George H.W. Bush administration, working in the White House Office of Legislative Affairs. And additionally, he worked on a variety of political campaigns over the years. So please join me in welcoming Bo Bryant.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I think I just need to call Evander back up here. Holy cow, what an amazing testimony. Thank you for sharing your perspective, Evander. It's an honor to be with you today. This is actually my first induction, so I'm incredibly excited and grateful to be here. It's also my first trip to a campus. I'm completely blown away by the things that I've seen already this morning, and excited by the faces and the excitement in the crowd, and hearing about the adventures that you guys are going to have ahead of you. So thank you for letting me be a part of it. And on behalf of our CEO, Barbara Stewart in DC, and the entire family of the Corporation for National Community Service, again, I'm just really, really grateful and excited to be a part of today's ceremonies. Gina's already covered it, but thank you to all of our special guests for being here, for being a part of this and celebrating. It's an exciting day in the beginning of a really great adventure for the men and women in this room. So, as many of you know, this fall we are actually celebrating the 25th anniversary of the first AmeriCorps class that was sworn in 1994. AmeriCorps was also the final piece of the puzzle that established the Corporation for National Community Service, which is the agency, of course, that houses all of the national service programs at the federal level. So we're very excited to celebrate a quarter century this season of service to our nation with you today, as you take this step in the next journey for you the year ahead. So exciting times. At this moment in time, when you could do anything for the next year, you and your fellow members have chosen to work together to serve communities and your country, and that is an enormous commitment and an enormous thing. You're taking the first steps on a journey that will influence the rest of your life, there's no doubt. And you will serve on projects supporting infrastructure development, energy conservation, environmental stewardship, urban and rural development, disaster assistance and response, and much, much more. Things that are truly needed by the communities across the country. As you serve this year in AmeriCorps, you will not only learn about some of our nation's challenges, our local community challenges, but you'll also, most importantly, learn a lot about yourself. You will learn how to be a great teammate, which will in turn eventually teach you how to be a great leader. You will learn how to celebrate small victories, and you'll learn to overcome the occasional setback or challenge. You won't be alone on this journey, obviously. You'll have your fellow team members. You'll be side by side with volunteers that you will actually help recruit. And you will also partner with those who you will be helping in the communities that you'll serve across the country. While you serve, you'll make connections that will last a lifetime. Our alumni often tell us that fellow team members really, as you're already discovering, become a second family, a family that often endures for years beyond your year of service. However, it's not just them that you'll be connected to. Each community you serve will impact you just as you impact them. Seeing you invest your time and efforts to help them recover or to improve their community is an inspirational reminder of the goodness and goodwill that exists in the world. For you, seeing what your service means to so many will also be inspiring, right? because it demonstrates the power to have a real impact that lives in each and every one of you. You have the power literally to change the world as you embark on this journey. And it starts by making things better one community at a time. The desire to make change is one that crosses generations, right? But no matter your age, you represent something that's needed in this community, that's needed in this state, that's needed in this country. A culture of caring, and that makes you exceptional. However, being exceptional is much more than just an adjective, right? It's a word. There needs to be actions to earn that title. And by the commitment you've already made today, I know you can live up to the charge during your service. Rise to the challenge, all of the challenges you encounter, and make the most of the time wherever it leads you. When others turn away, turn back to lend a hand. When others can't make the time to help or can't be bothered, make sure you find a way to find the time. When others ask, how did this happen? Why did this happen? You ask, how can we fix it? Make your service here an example that inspires others to follow in your footsteps. During your AmeriCorps service, you will further develop qualities that you've already developed or beginning to develop, like empathy, resilience, teamwork, leadership, all things that will help prepare you for whatever is next in your journey, whether it's education or whether you'll be ready for the workforce. We know that many of you have plans to continue your education after this experience, and that's why every AmeriCorps member who completes their service term is eligible for the AmeriCorps Education Award to help pay for college or vocational training or to repay student loans. And for those of you who are going to be ready for the workforce afterwards, to help those members with life after AmeriCorps, we've recruited more than 600 employers of national service in local, state, federal governments, nonprofits, and private sectors to give special consideration to national service alumni for job consideration and openings at their companies or organizations. So that's working to provide you a preference and a leg up when you get ready to join the workforce. You are part of a legacy of service that demonstrates the great promise and ideals of this country. Most importantly, from the moment you take the AmeriCorps pledge, as we've talked about before, you become part of a special, unique group, a member of the AmeriCorps family. The AmeriCorps A represents selfless service to our nation and an exceptional group of people who know that the best way to change the world is to start a conversation. Ask, how can you help? And then live the words of your AmeriCorps pledge to get things done. This year will go by so incredibly fast, I promise you it will be quick. So think about journaling, sharing photos, or however you feel most comfortable, documenting what will truly be a transformational time in your life. You will face real challenges, as we talked about before. You will be tested, but don't be discouraged. For your resourcefulness, your training, your fellow members will all help you get through those challenges. You will learn a lot, again, about yourself and your team during these times, and many of you will certainly and have already discovered strengths that you didn't know that you had. And finally, remember the power of your voice. Share your thoughts about your service with others, with your friends, with your colleagues, what it means to you as you travel through the next year. And after, be ready to tell your story, because you are the strongest, most effective ambassadors that we have in ensuring that we continue to grow the world of national service. As we said, you're not alone in your journey. You're now part of a family of 75,000 AmeriCorps members who will be serving in this year alone, and over 1 million AmeriCorps members who have served the country since 1994. Some people literally wait all of their lives to change the world. For those of you about to embark on your year of service, your opportunity begins right now. So many people are proud of you and the choice that you've made to serve the country over the next year. And we literally cannot wait to see all that you will accomplish in the year ahead. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this event, and congratulations. I have one more duty before I step away from the podium, and that's to introduce our next special guest. So among our many special guests today is the member of Congress who represents the Colorado 6th Congressional District in the United States House of Representatives. Congressman Jason Crow is a former Army Ranger and a lawyer whose congressional district encompasses Aurora, where we sit today, and parts of Adams and Douglas counties. The son of small business owners, Congressman Crow worked his way through college before enlisting in the Army and served our country in not one, but multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. After returning home, he went to work as an advocate for veterans, and as an attorney, he was named Denver's Pro Bono Lawyer of the Year for the work he did helping service members transition from military to civilian life. Congressman Crow is a member of the Armed Services Committee, where he continues to be an advocate for the men and women in uniform. And continuing the legacy of his parents, he is also on the Small Business Committee, where he does important work on behalf of small business owners in Colorado and beyond. Please help me welcome an advocate and supporter for national service, and more importantly, someone who gets things done, Congressman Jason Crow.
Good morning, Class 26. Good morning, Class 26. Good morning. I heard a rumor coming in here that Class 26 is the best class ever to graduate in CCC. I don't know if that's accurate or not. No disrespect, Gina, to Class 2, which I'm sure was also great, but Class 26 looks pretty impressive to me, and we are in the best congressional district in Colorado, too, so it is a really special day for all of us. Good morning to Gina and Bo, Paul Brown, other distinguished guests. Thank you for those wonderful remarks, Evander, very inspired. I'm sure that you represent the wisdom of this class, which is far beyond the wisdom of many of your years, undoubtedly. I also took an oath, not too different from the one that you're about to take in spirit. The first oath that I took, I also took as a teenager. I won't tell you how many decades ago that was. But I raised my right hand in my teenage years and swore an oath to this country to put aside my self-interest and to serve my country and my community. I didn't know at the time that when I took that oath that it would be transformative. It would send me off on a different trajectory in my life, and one that I never could have imagined. And during that time, in uniform, serving alongside men and women from every different background of this country. The men and women who I served with in Iraq and Afghanistan came from every corner of our nation. They were truck drivers, ranchers, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, straight, gay, different religions. When we came together, seemingly we didn't have a lot in common. But as we started to work together, as we fought together, a couple of amazing things happened. Number one, we learned that there was great strength in that diversity. See, each one of us had walked a different path to get to where we were. And that background, that experience, that path, that diversity made us stronger and better as a team. We were better together than we were as individuals. The second amazing thing that happened was we also, while we embraced that diversity, we also focused on what we had in common. And you see, that's a uniquely American thing. That we can both embrace diversity and yet also focus on our shared values and what draws us together. We focus on what we had in common, our common mission, our common purpose, our common values, that we were Americans working and fighting together, and we achieved something that we never would have been able to achieve alone. I learned that we are better when we stand together. And that's what this program and programs like it are about. You are about to begin a transformative phase where you will realize that there is greater purpose in serving beyond yourself. You can achieve great things and be somebody that you never thought you could be by stepping up and putting your self-interest aside, serving your country and your community. And young men and women, your country needs you now more than ever. We need your energy. We need your entrepreneurial spirit. We need your willingness to work together, to stand together, and to serve beyond yourself. And I cannot thank you enough for being willing to take on that mission, to put aside your self-interest, and to serve our country. Thank you, Godspeed to all of you, and welcome to the Class 26.
Both from Bo and Congressman Crow. A shared sense of civic responsibility through service is something that we can all relate to and use as something to inspire us as we move forward. So thank you so much. Now, so we have our words of inspiration. We're almost to the point of making it official. But first I'm going to bring up Dana Clayton, who's our Deputy Region Director for Projects and Programming, and she's going to talk about how you're going to get it done for the Southwest Region.
Good morning, Class 26, and congratulations on your induction day. Over the next 6 weeks, approximately 250 Corps members will bring forth their skills, talents, strengths to address some of our region's most pressing needs. Proudly, NCCC shows up, boots on the ground, with a surge of power, commitment, and dedication, and a can-do attitude to get things done for America. We will have teams deployed to the states of Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, Kansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas. We are thrilled with our lineup of project sponsors and communities. They're motivated, excited, and anxiously awaiting your arrival. Without further ado, NCCC teams, please stand when I call the state that you will be deployed to. If you are headed to Texas, please take a stand. We will have a total of 9 teams deployed to Texas. 7 of those teams will be spread through Houston, up and down the coast, and on the border with Louisiana, working on long-term disaster recovery assignments from Hurricane Harvey devastation. Our other 2 teams will work on projects addressing food security and environmental stewardship in El Paso and outside Austin. Do not mess with Texas nor NCCC. Good luck, Texas teams. If you will be staying in Colorado, please stand. All right. We will have 2 teams here in Colorado named Lakewood and Greeley. Both teams will serve on economic opportunity projects which aim to improve well-being of community members, increase access to affordable housing, and stimulate community economic development. Best of luck to both teams in Colorado. You're headed to sunny Arizona. Please stand. All right. Heading to Arizona, we'll have 2 teams addressing also environmental stewardship projects, helping to preserve and enhance communities' natural resources in Mayer, Arizona, and Tucson, Arizona. Best of luck. If you are headed to New Mexico, Kansas, or Oklahoma, please stand. We'll have 1 team going to Taos, New Mexico that will address environmental need through wetlands restoration, trail building, and acequia repair and maintenance. We'll have another team that will serve on an economic opportunity project and perform a variety of essential infrastructure improvement tasks in Topeka, Kansas. And we'll have our final team on a disaster recovery project to complete home repairs for disaster survivors that had no means to recover on their own in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Good luck to these 3 teams. Who's going to Missouri? Please We will have 3 teams in Missouri in Hannibal, Neosho, and the Ozarks in Branson and Ava. 2 of those teams will address economic opportunity projects along with Healthy Futures, where teams will collect, sort, distribute food, clothing, and toys for holiday events, as well as do some infrastructure improvement work. And our other team will address environmental conservation with the construction of 4.5-mile trail in the Ozarks. Good luck, Missouri team. Arkansas, please stand if you're going to Arkansas. We will have 2 teams in Arkansas, in Morrilton and North Little Rock, working to improve the natural resource areas, site improvements, and trail improvement to make remote areas more accessible to the general public. Good luck, Arkansas team. Last but not least, we will have 5 team leaders staying here in Aurora. Could you please stand? Here back in Aurora behind the scenes supporting all of the teams that are being deployed, and if we get a request for disaster or any critical need, they could be deployed as well. So thank you and good luck to you all. So Class 26, no matter what project you're on, know that there is need, and you are there to help identify and how to bring added value to that project and to that community. Your work will allow our project sponsors and the community to get a jump start on their pressing issues and help them move forward with long-term sustainable solutions for their community. So best of luck with that. Last but not least, Jennifer, Lindsay, Sarah, are you out there? Where are our assistant program directors? If it were not for these 3 individuals, we would not have these incredible projects. So thank you for all that you have done to set these teams up for success. Class 26, safe travels, much success during your first round project. We'll have a short video showing some of the highlights and reflections of our Core Training Institute from the past 3.5 weeks.
you've had a lot of fun while learning a lot of important skills. And I heard a little bit of groaning around the classroom and stuff, but now it's time. You're ready to deploy. So here we go. All right, so this is the official part of our ceremony, but before we get started, I want to take a moment to recognize some of the hardest working staff members in this country, the Southwest Region staff. So please stand, let's give them a round of applause for David. For Dana and Alan for filling in while we are in absentia of a region director, and I hope to fill that gap very soon. So thank you for your extra level of effort. But as your journey, Corps members, just begins, so does theirs in a very different way. So thank you all in advance for the hard work, energy, effort, and coordination and communication that will come. All right, so this is the real deal now. It gets official. We're going to administer the pledge. So 3.5 weeks of hard work, energy, and effort have gotten you to this seat today. And if you look around, some people didn't make it this far. So I'm very glad to have you here. And to start this part, as you take this pledge, I'd like to invite again Congressman Crow, Brendan from Senator Bennett's office, and Riley from Senator Gardner's office to join me up front. And as we go, you're going to stand, please, Corps, and administer each line of the pledge.
Please raise your right hand. I will get things done for America.
I will get things done for America.
To make our people safer, smarter, and healthier.
To make our people safer, smarter, and healthier.
I will bring Americans together to strengthen our communities.
I will bring Americans together to strengthen our communities.
Faced with apathy, I will take action.
Faced with apathy, I will take action.
Faced with conflict, I will seek common ground.
Faced with conflict, I will seek common ground.
Faced with adversity, I will persevere.
Faced with adversity, I will persevere.
I will carry this commitment with me this year and beyond.
I will carry this commitment with me this year and beyond.
I am an AmeriCorps member, and I will get things done.
I am an AmeriCorps member, and I will get things done.
Congratulations.
Remarks, but indulge me a little bit. I hail for now 20 years from the District of Columbia, and we now have the proud World Series champions, the Washington Nationals. And I've been watching a lot of baseball, so please bear with me. David Martinez said that bumpy roads lead to beautiful places. Bumpy roads lead to beautiful places. And you just took an oath to get things done for America. But to go through many stages of getting things done for America requires a new perspective. A lot of learning, a lot of being open, a lot of finding that common thread, as Congressman Kraus mentioned earlier, what brings us together in order to achieve those goals. Now's the moment. We've talked about it. We've trained about it, you've had scenarios. Now's the time to actually put all of it into action. So today I'm going to ask you to do more than just put it into action, because you're about to start something that is tremendous. The one thing that we know already brings us together is that motivation to serve. We're already joined, regardless of how you got here or how you found out about the program, or if your mom pushed you to hit the send button on the application, that's okay. We like mamas who do that. But you're all here. All you really need to be successful is the motivation to serve and to be committed to each other and connected to each other through our words and actions. It kind of is that simple. So my challenge to you as the National Director is to think right now today. What's your moonshot? We're also next door to NASA, so I'd like to mix these two things up. But what is your moonshot? If it's not a grand slam home run, it might be being that person that lifts the team up on a hard day. It might be comic relief. It might be preparing the best meal you can on $4.75 a day. It might be, finding that independent service project that gives you a little bit of a break and respite from the daily grind of what you're working on. It might be after serving disaster survivors, connecting about what makes things better for us in appreciation of having that moment to be able to help someone in their time of need. Whatever it ends up being, decide today what your moonshot is for you. What is the great thing that you want to be able to do and call your success by the end of your service? I challenge that to you. We might not be heading for the World Series, but that's okay. I already mentioned what an elite group you are, can be contributing to around the country, 2,200 slots of members doing this work collectively, 1,387 today. So there are not that many of you, but the impact and the potential of that impact is tremendous. So I challenge you to set that big goal, to figure out what it is that you're going to be working towards in collaboration with your team. Because the greatest thing about this program is not only are you getting it done for America, not only are you improving lives along the way, but you yourselves will transform throughout this service term. And I encourage you to try new things and figure out what it is that inspires you to move forward. But have that goal in your mindset so that you're always working towards something bigger, something better. And like I said, it doesn't have to be, if anybody come here to change the world today? Me too. But we change the world in many different ways. So find out what that opportunity is for you and take advantage of it. So with that, I'll leave you with just a couple of other things, because I would be remiss is as you're starting this program, we did put some emphasis around safety and security. Be smart, be cautious, be careful, take some safe risks amongst your colleagues and with each other and in trying new things and learning new skills, but be safe and take care of each other. You have a long road to go, unless some of you are traveling many, many miles, and you'll be deployed for some time before you're back here together. Share in those experiences, but take really good care of each other. So, don't lose sight of the mission. You're not only here to execute on behalf of our country, you are becoming a part of our future leaders of America. And I take that very seriously, because there are so few of you, and it is a unique opportunity. So keep that in mind. Don't lose sight of the fact that you're here to make a difference today for a very long path towards your future in leadership. We believe in you, we care about you, we're very, very proud of you, and look forward to the tremendous accomplishments that are to come. So, if you need help, ask for it. That's what we're all about, team, community, support. If you see an opportunity, take it. Learn and grow from each other. Everybody has something to teach, and everybody has something to learn. And work together to inspire each other along the way. Sometimes you'll be working together to inspire the communities in which you serve, but most importantly, this team, this unit that you are evolving into is going to be an important experience, because this may be the only time in your life where you live together and work together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in sometimes some pretty austere conditions. We're not sending you out to the Ritz-Carlton, it doesn't work that way. But you will have these tremendous experiences as a collective. So learn and grow from each other, do the best you can, give all you can. We have tremendously high expectations for you. So with that, I will stop talking and we'll put a close to the ceremony. I would like to ask our special guests in just about 5 to 10 minutes to go outside and take photos with us, as we'll document this moment as the start to this very important Class 26 and your service year. So I congratulate you, I thank you all for being here, and I'm super excited about what's to come. So congratulations.